Hi, everyone. I'm Lili Cheng, and I oversee the shared AI platform for the business applications group, as well as some of the early stage projects and emerging technologies that we work on. And just for a little background, I started my time at Microsoft in Microsoft Research. In Microsoft Research, the very first groups we had were speech and natural language. And for all of us who've been in this space for a long time, the last year has been pretty amazing. The very first project that I worked on at Microsoft was a chatbot, so it's sort of back to the future for me. This was something that we released back in 1996, and it was an application that we called Comic Chat. We worked with a local comic artist, Jim Woodring, and as people chatted, we would automatically generate a conversation history that was in comic book form based on the emotion and who was speaking. So that was a lot of fun a long time ago. And then about 8 years ago, we were really inspired by what we were seeing in China because people were really beginning to live online in social environments like WeChat. And so we built a chatbot called Xiaoice, which had a lot of different skills. It can teach you Chinese and help you do math, basically your personal assistant. And we were really excited because of the engagement that we saw. In fact, this chatbot was so beloved that Sinu Weibo actually shut it down within the first day. And that was really cool. And this chatbot now has a lot of, we spun it out as a startup, and it has she has her own TV show and things like that. So these two times when people were really trying to take what you say, natural language, and make them more compelling experiences, we've had a lot of starts. The first time when people could talk to each other on the internet, and then this time as people started doing more actions online. But it was really hard to build these. And if you had your own research group, you could probably create them, but most people didn't. And so last year, as we were collaborating with OpenAI, as you all know, when they launched ChatGPT, which runs on Azure, we really saw this the fastest growing consumer product in history. And not only, as you know, was ChatGPT, did they have vertical growth with ChatGPT, but it was really cool to see all the growth on GitHub and the number of repos, which probably grew even faster than ChatGPT itself. So as you know, what makes this unique? It's really a scaling problem, and as you can add more and more parameters to, to a query that you might do. So let's say you query something like teddy bears mixing sparkling chemicals as mad scientists create digital art. You can just see the improvement in the quality of the image generation here with more data. And so, as you know, like I said, it's been really amazing. And when I look back just a few years to 2018, this was a McKinsey study because we've been rolling out AI to many companies to see what they want to build for a long time. And in 2018, the three biggest challenges that companies had were, first of all, they would build things and they might be in silos. So companies would roll things out. They would tend to have all different AI models and AI infrastructure. And so it was really hard to unify the solutions that they had. And then, of course, it was really hard to hire AI talent. You might, for big companies, it's hard to hire AI talent. For startups or other companies, it's been really challenging. And the biggest problem was really that they didn't have a really clear strategy for how they wanted to use AI and what they wanted to do with it. And what's pretty interesting is with the large models, the bottom two challenges sort of become less critical. People tend to use common AI, models because they're so big, you can't really create your own. And also, you don't need as much AI talent. You're really thinking a lot more about the application. So I think the top issue is still really, what's your strategy for AI? What are you building? How are you rolling that out? And how does it actually impact the culture and the organizational structure of your company? So at Microsoft, this has impacted us a lot, just like all other companies. And we're really inspired by the use of GitHub Copilot that we've seen. And we're starting to roll out this idea that AI can assist you as you do your work across pretty much everything, every product at Microsoft. So my favorite Copilot is the GitHub Copilot. We started this a couple years ago just as we were starting to partner with OpenAI. And today, almost half of all code written in GitHub is AI assisted, which is pretty phenomenal. GitHub's also amazing. And what's even cooler is, a huge portion of those developers using Copilot feel their work is more focused and their work is more satisfying. And they're faster at doing these repetitive tasks. And the other thing that's interesting is managers of people using GitHub also feel that their employees are more productive. So sometimes you have a dichotomy of, either the employee finds it's useful or the manager, they have different opinions. But we love the usage and the feedback that we're getting from GitHub Copilot. So if you haven't tried it out, you should definitely do that. This is just a quick, you've probably seen it, but basically as you type, we can use the code that people have shared in GitHub and the knowledge that we have to really help give you snippets of code that you can use to write. And then you as the developer can always override that if you think that there's something better. But it's really been an awesome Copilot experience. Since then, as I said, pretty much every product at Microsoft has rolled out AI integrated into our products. And so if you don't know much about large language models, I would say most people in the world didn't before January. So everyone is a novice and learning really quickly. And my advice to you would be really think about how this technology fundamentally changes the products that you're doing, especially products that involve people inputting in text or speaking, and then analyzing information and pulling out information. So we think this pretty much impacts every user experience that people will engage in, and that in the next couple of years, if your projects don't leverage this technology, it might feel broken. In the same way that if you were to build a phone keyboard today and it didn't autocomplete the words you were saying and give you little emojis, which by the way, is sort of an AI project to be able to mine all the words that you might want to be typing. A keyboard will feel broken. People are just seeing this technology embedded in everything they use. Of course, we host OpenAI as well as Llama and some other models in the future on Azure. So for us, this is a whole research project. I don't know, it's not really a research project, huge project just to create the infrastructure to host these models. Most of you probably don't have to do this, so you should be really, hopefully you're using this and not building your own data centers, because that's a big project. But it's been a lot of fun. It's just been amazing to see the engagement with the startup community, and we're really grateful for the innovation. So my job at Microsoft, like I said, all our products use Azure OpenAI. And I work on the projects on this side, which are all of our business applications. So low-code tools. Low-code tools, we believe that really moves to no-code in a lot of cases. How can we make it easier for people who aren't developers to get the kind of authoring experiences that the GitHub Copilot developers are seeing? And also just all of our business SaaS applications. So think sales, customer support, finance, supply chain, as well as new emerging SaaS business verticals. How does this change the way people are doing those business functions? So, what are we seeing people do with OpenAI? So there's kind of 4 categories of things that we're seeing people do with the large language model. And I'll go through each one of these. So the first thing that we're seeing people do is really think about how to make it easier to generate content. So 2 examples might be, I'm a call center agent and, analyze what this person wants to do and help me generate a response for this customer who has a problem. Or I'm a sales rep, help me generate an email response to somebody who has sent a request for something that they want. I can still oversee and edit that, but just help me summarize more quickly and create a personalized response. Another category of things that we're seeing is summarization. So, give me meeting summaries. Look at a bunch of data and give me a summary for the status of this customer. We talked a little bit about code generation that you saw in GitHub, but this can be a lot of other things like, and I'll show you an example of this, tell me a sentence for all of the integrations that you want to see and help me automate some of those integrations. So think of if or things like that. How can you really automate that just using natural language? And then underlying a lot of the experiences is really a query-centric experience. So let me do Q&A over documents and manuals, and also maybe query, ask, understand what someone is asking for in an email, and automatically go fill in a bunch of forms and perform a bunch of actions based on a semantic query. And in our group, this is just a sample of the things that we have rolled out in the last 10 months, really rethinking how business applications and SaaS services can become systems of intelligence that really help people solve their tasks end to end. And again, I'll walk through some of these. So the first thing that we thought about is it's great that we have copilots. It'd be really great for anybody to be able to create a copilot really easily, starting with their data, like a website or some documents, and uploading that. And so I'll show you a project called Power Virtual Agent, which helps you do this. Not only do you not have to write any code, so it's really a no-code experience, but you can unfold it and go all the way into deep code if you really want to customize it. So we really have a no-cliff experience from no-code all the way to Power developers. Oops, so I think we can play the first video.
Power Virtual Agents is now using GPT to make bot building even easier. By boosting your conversations with GPT, companies can now provide a pointer to not only external websites and information, they can also direct the bot to respond from internal proprietary data sources, and the bot will enable GPT-powered chat to surface answers for the internal employees only. It's easier than ever to create a bot and provide an internal HR website. This new bot is restricted to only my own employees who can chat with it to answer HR questions. Immediately after creation, I can chat with the bot and have it respond with HR-specific content from my employee HR website. If I want to learn about my company's maternity leave policy, the bot will first check to see if there are existing manually authored topics available. If none can be triggered, GPT kicks in to find the right answer by searching across the data source I provided. The search results are filtered for relevance, refined, and a friendly conversational response is returned to me. Not only can I learn about my company's maternity leave policy, but I'm also able to link directly to the information on the site. After publishing my bot in Teams, employees across my organization can immediately get help for all their HR needs. With this feature, Power Virtual Agent solves two key problems for the bot building industry. First, bots will be able to answer questions instantly out of the box, dramatically disrupting the traditional multi-month bot development cycle. Second, bots can now combine manually authored topics which deliver on specific use cases with the vast knowledge across the tenant's corpus, dramatically expanding the ability for bots to fulfill employee and customer needs, with lower escalation rates, greater cost savings, and ultimately a better user experience. Get started now at aka.ms/trypba.
So that's an overview. So something really easy that you can try out in just a few minutes. And I'm not going to walk through this, but these are really the steps that we take behind the scenes for retrieval augmented generation that is helping people combine their data with the large language model in a very secure way so that you're not leaking your queries and that it's really doing response checks and looking at responsible AI so that we give back a really clean reply. And this, we've really completely changed the user experience for Power Virtual Agent to start with the large language model, and it's been really cool to see customers using this, and then we also use this inside Microsoft. So if you're extending a bot in Teams, you're using this. If you are going to the metal with Azure OpenAI, you can really easily publish your bot here. And then we also use this ourselves for customer support for the first entry that customers might have if they're doing customer support. Just on top of that, what we're seeing, like I said, is with low code, we really want to broaden who can code. So you probably might not have a GitHub account, but we believe that everybody should want to be able to kind of use natural language just to be able to type like you see here, and for the system to be able to sort of trigger the integrations together so that you can really easily automate creating simple workflows. So this is just a quick animation of how we use our workflow tool by typing in a sentence to pull together the integrations that you might want to have. So for example, if I have an email and somebody fills out a survey on their email, the automation can kind of automatically step you through take the survey, update an Excel file, maybe notify some people in Teams or Zoom, and then go ahead and send out an email or other notification to my customers. So these kinds of workflows are really common, and they're even easier to author because a lot of times you can just do that by asking the system to author. So very lightweight coding. We're also seeing a lot of use within our SaaS services, so sales and customer support. So one of the things that we've rolled out is a way to integrate with Salesforce or Dynamics to be able to pull in data from email when you get a question. And we have a side pane, a Copilot side pane, that can pull in the right information and then automatically generate a response to you for that email. So it's really helping salespeople be more effective with their customer engagement. And again, we're kind of going through a lot of common steps in order to be able to do this content integration and generate content. So that content generation was one of the really common things that we're seeing people do with the large language models. And then, another example that we actually just rolled out last week was thinking about service end to end. So typically what we see is maybe a customer engages with a bot on your web page or in your application. If the bot can't answer the question, it might escalate to a person. So a customer service agent or even someone providing human real remote assistance. Often that in a customer support scenario will trigger a technician having to go out to a site and intelligently dispatch people, and then that technician engaging with customers in their environment. So we've really been thinking about end-to-end service and how we can help not only the workers who sit behind desks, but also the deskless workers out in the field, working mobile and working in energy plants or supporting you, and how the data can start to flow end to end. So probably most people have been in a case where they are really frustrated having a technician come out who doesn't know the context of your service request. And so we're trying to make that easier. So I'm just going to play a really short video on some work that we just rolled out last week for frontline workers.
Timely resolution is key when it comes to excellent field service. But minutes and hours can slip by in every step of the process, from finding information across fragmented tools for work order management to dispatching frontline technicians with real-time support. Resolving issues efficiently can get challenging. Introducing Copilot in Dynamics 365 Field Service, helping your frontline deliver exceptional service. With Copilot, your customer escalations are pre-populated into draft work orders for frontline managers to review and outlook. And with recommendations based on travel time, availability, skill set, and more, your technician scheduling becomes streamlined. Now, as technicians start their day, they see upcoming work orders at a glance in their home experience in Microsoft Teams. Even on the go, everyone stays connected with updates that sync across both Microsoft 365 and Dynamics 365. With access to step-by-step instructions within the Field Service mobile app, technicians can solve problems as they arise. And when additional support is needed to achieve a first-time fix, collaborate in real time with experts using Remote Assist. As service delivery becomes complicated, Dynamics 365 Field Service keeps things simple, saving you time so you can focus on exceeding customer expectations. Experience how Dynamics 365 Field Service can help today.
So those are just some examples of some of the things that our teams are doing here at Microsoft. But just in general, um, this is a project that we did a long time ago. It was a project to help kids learn to code because we felt that they were spending a lot of time playing games, and it'd be really cool if they could create their own games. And so I do think that that is a vision, right? That we can make it easy enough for people to create these co-pilots and experiences so that they can create their own experiences. This is a little girl playing Kodu, which was one of my favorite projects that we ever did. And then also just really thinking about, like we're starting to do with field service, but there's a lot of different applications for taking your co-pilot with you where you work, and really bringing this technology to a really wide set of users. So, just in summary, we believe that every experience will really change with this technology because language is so fundamental to the way we think and communicate and work. And just really excited to have you all here, and can't wait to see the kind of new businesses that you create that, we aren't even really thinking about today. So thank you so much. Thank you for being here, and exciting to kick off the day.